DIECAST NORBZ is a channel devoted to the teen to adult toy collector, pop culture fans, and fellow nerd enthusiasts. This is a PG-13 channel. I might say some what? Viewer and parental discretion is advised. Hello, once again to everyone out there throughout the multiverse and beyond. It's time for another episode of DIECAST NORBZ Galactic Hooligan. And today I was searching around for Studio Series 102 Optimus Prime. And everybody actually loves this guy. Everybody really loves this guy. And is he actually better than I want to say 32 Optimus Prime? This might be a comparison contrast video more than anything else, because a lot of people actually say that this guy is actually a lot better than this guy, but is he really? You know? So I'm actually going to check these two out. Welcome to the show. If you haven't already, please hit the like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That would mean an enormous amount for me, as I'm actually still trying to grow my viewership and defeat my algorithm monster. Help me by liking and subscribing, and also maybe sharing me around and everything, you know, because I would actually love it. And I really hope that you guys actually enjoy your stay at my show today. And now let's check this out, because I like this guy, but let's see how he actually compares with the older version of Studio Series. Optimus Prime, our super incredible leader, our fantastic father figure. He might have a little penchant for murder, but he's actually really cool in all of our hearts and everything, and we cannot get enough of this guy. So much that we've actually had a lot of Optimus Primes in our lifetime, and today I'm going to be taking a look at two such Primes here, because I really need to know which one was actually better. I really love both of these guys for what they actually do and everything. First off, let's take a look at our new Studio Series. By the way, he's actually coming from Studio Series, the Studio Series buzzworthy Bumblebee. He is number 102 in the Studio Series set. And here goes his amazing box over here that actually has Optimus Primal right over here. I kind of need to get that leader class guy and everything like that, because he's actually saying something. There he goes over here in all of his animated glory right over here, and I love this so much. If we could actually have this in toy form, I'd be super happy. And then there we go right over here, and this is pretty much what you're actually getting with Optimus Prime here and everything. So there we go, and I'm actually going to bring you back over here if my camera doesn't slip or anything like that. These two guys right over here, Optimus Prime 102, and I want to say that this is 35 or 32 Studio Series Optimus Prime. And spoiler alert, I actually tried, but I had some paint mishap over here. I was trying to replace it with the right paints. I cannot get a paint match or anything like that. If someone out there on the interwebs can actually help me out in YouTube land, please let me know what paint this actually is, because I'm really having a hard time trying to match this up. On video, it's not going to look as bad, but that just really kills me a little bit and everything like that. But that's actually neither here nor there, because these guys are actually great. One thing off the bat, I'm going to address two elephants in the room. I really wish that these were as big as these smokestacks right over here, because these smokestacks right over here are actually really paper thin and everything, and probably true to life, but at the same time, I really wish we actually had something else going here. And then, what are those? let me tell you something. I really, I'm like, you know, this is a fun figure. It's a fun figure. It's simple. It's also a lot simpler than this guy right over here. And I'll say that this is the one thing that actually kind of kills it for me right altogether and everything like that, this flatbed. Because right here, we actually have something that actually looks so much better on this version of Prime. I love everything that's actually going on in here. He is pretty much a complete truck. And this guy actually being a lot more simplified and everything like that does a lot to actually form the legs that he actually does form over here. But right over here, we actually have more of a complete look for a flatbed and everything. I think you can actually like make this pretty much compatible with like almost any Voyager, Optimus Prime cab and everything like that. And I really love everything and the attention to detail that actually goes on here and everything. Really, really nice. And you can actually put his blaster over here. And right over here, this is like the blaster that we actually get over here for the new Studio Series 102 Optimus Prime, which is, after I clear my camera up here, which is just kind of like a little pea shooter more than anything else. And we've already seen what Optimus's blaster actually looks like when he's actually in the movie. If you haven't gone to go see the movie, go see it. I'm talking to you. But like, let me tell you something, that blaster that he actually has is just great. This one over here, you just peg onto the arm and everything like that. We'll see how it actually works out. It actually goes right over here, and you just peg it in right over here and everything like that. You have weapon storage over here. You have weapon storage for his sword over here. Altogether, I really love this design altogether. You know, he is just really amazing. Could have actually used a little bit more red on the outer rim right over here and everything like that to hide things a little bit better. And there we go. This guy actually has a swooping there we go, a swooping stripe that actually goes right over here, which is actually very Optimus Prime-esque. He carries those same wheels that he actually did in the for the original Studio Series version. And one thing that I think that is actually done so much, another thing that I think that's actually done so much better on this guy as opposed to this guy is right over here, and just let me bring some light over here. Right over here, that actually, like where the fuel canisters actually are, we actually have something over here that stops everything from moving. And I love that. You just disconnect this right over here, and that actually kind of like stops it right at its tracks and everything. You actually have like a beautiful pegging system and everything that goes right over here, and that is not budging whatsoever. On this version of Optimus, you kind of like breathe on it wrong. I'm actually going to have to like use Kikis all over this guy, because a lot of things actually happen with this guy right over here where I kind of feel as though the whole entire guy doesn't really hold as well together in robot mode or anything like that. I hope all of you that actually got him with stiffer joints, I hope you guys are actually really happy with him. I actually have to work on this a little bit more myself and everything before I actually become happy with him. But there we go. I love the weather vane right over here. I love like the windows over here. In comparison, this guy actually comes with, and you can actually see it right over here, blue windows, where he actually looks like he actually has some seats right in the back over there. I love this broader grille right over here. That is beautifully done. And you can actually sell, like right over here, there's like such a size disparity between the both of them. I kind of wish that this were like a little bit bigger or something to actually match along with the momentous size of him, the fantastic movie value of this guy and everything like that. But he's actually like a mite smaller than our Prime right over here. You can actually see him. There we go. I'll just give you a little bit of a look like so. There we are. He's like a lot less wide and a lot less top, and he's kind of like I think like he's actually kind of like a head smaller than this Prime right over here. And all of this detail is actually just really amazing, picked out amazingly in paint and everything. I kind of wish we actually had this going on for this grill right over here. The paint would have actually been super appreciated instead of like the model plastic that we actually have over here, you know? But There we go, and we'll just check over this. This is actually mostly for this guy more than anything else, because a lot of people, I've actually seen this going for a lot of money on the secondary market and everything like that. So I just wanted to, I found one in a Target, and like Target really dropped the ball with me and everything like that when it came down to delivering this guy over to me. So I actually had to go searching high and low for this guy and everything, and I finally found one, and then I got him in hand and everything like that, and I started really thinking to myself, like, this guy actually just he does so much and everything like that in this auto mode, but at the same time there is so much to be lackluster about and everything, especially over here. I kind of wish that this was actually painted red instead of like leaving it as the model gray over here and everything like that. And when you actually think about Bay movie figures and everything like that, there's actually going to be a lot of model gray and everything, right? But I kind of feel like that could have actually been alleviated right over here, especially for the top. And this, just beautiful, just flawless, you know what I mean? There is a lot in the way of paneling and everything like that, because he actually changes into a robot and that sort of thing. But there we go. And just great. I love the red on this a lot more than I love the red on this. But I really do think that this guy actually kind of like from point A to point B actually just really fills out Optimus Prime as much as he possibly can. So I'm just going to give you just that quick size comparison right over here. Also, when you're actually having a Optimus Prime comparison, I think sometimes you actually need a Bumblebee in it to it and everything like that. So we actually have Studio Series Bumblebee over here, the best of all the movie Bumblebees. Actually, I really enjoy this guy a lot, But when you have an Optimus Prime, an accessory is always another guy. So you actually have Bumblebee, and we'll actually bring in movie Megatron over here from a Studio Series, and there we go. And really, they look pretty good together. But I'll tell you one thing. Let me just bring in the other movie Prime here. And there we go. And that kind of even looks better to me. In fact, I'm actually going to say this right off the bat and everything. Even with this version of Bumblebee, he looks so much better. Of course, with Bumblebee, better is actually going to be a VW, right? Anyway, let's get these guys... Hold on, let me just go right over here. Let's get these guys into transformation and let us see these guys for their 110% true glory. Headshot! Here goes our challengers between Studio Series 102 and 38 Optimus Prime, and they both look really, really amazing. And as always, whichever one you actually choose for your collection, you win. You win. But let me tell you something. I might have like a slight more appreciation for this guy over here, because I think he actually does everything dynamically and right. You know, there are a couple of things here and there where the shoulders are actually meeting and everything like that, and they both actually have different shoulder issues and everything, but I'll show you what's actually going on with both of them. First off, let's take a look at Studio Series 102, since that's actually the hot ticket right now. Let's take a look at him real up close. And before I nitpick myself to death on these guys and everything, let's take a look at the weapons that they actually come with. Studio Series 102 actually comes with this blazing sword right over here. Just let me clear up that picture on this guy, and this sword looks super awesome. I love the fact that it's actually made with harder plastic instead of malleable plastic we actually get on certain melee weapons and everything, so that's actually really great. And we also get this little kind of pea shooter kind of a thing and everything like that. It should be Blast Effects compatible, but because of this little notch right over here, it is not completely Blast Effects compatible. And I kind of wish they actually made this with the range that they actually had in the movie and everything, where the whole entire arm was actually kind of like engulfed and transformed into this thing. And it would have actually been great if we actually got extra parts and everything like that. I'm not exactly sure if by today's markets the cost per plastic used and everything like that translates a little bit differently and everything, but for this version, for 38, we actually have his ion cannon right over here, and that really looks amazing to me always. Again, we actually have the same thing with the notch over here and everything. I'm not exactly entirely sure if this is Blast Effects compatible, but with a quick check over here, we can actually test this out, and it is not entirely. You really have to kind of like squeeze that in order to get this going and everything like that. So not as Blast Effects compatible, but still a really nicely modeled blaster here. You know, I enjoy this take on his iconic weapon here and everything, so that's actually really great. I kind of wish that this guy actually came with a blaster as well and everything, a little bit more than what we actually had over here. I know the other Voyager mainline version actually came with it, but in my mind's eye, I actually really think that this one was actually the better choice out of both. And taking a closer look at both of them over here, they both look great for different reasons. This guy over here actually comes with his movie-esque kind of thing, and so he actually has, just let me clear this up for you guys and girls, he actually has his iconic face from the movie. I kind of think that the head is kind of like a notch smaller than what his body type should actually be and everything, but he actually still looks great. I'm actually loving all this super detailing over here. The one thing I'm not really a big fan of is the fact that his gut actually juts out a little bit more than where it actually should be, as with this guy over here and everything, it looks like everything is actually completely integrated in the thing, and I just really would have actually loved that a lot more. Excuse me, sorry about that everybody. But I really think that that would have actually made a difference in this Prime for me and everything. I love like the detailing over here. I kind of wish this silver actually kind of like went deeper into his legs over here, although they are actually really nicely modeled. I love like everything that's actually going on in here in his legs and everything like that. The field of blue that's actually in there also. Kind of wish that his fists were actually colored blue too, or maybe, I don't know, like I'm actually in such a big, because I know in the movie that his hands are actually completely silver, this silver. I kind of wish we actually got that over here on the smokestacks and in his hands and everything, because I think that that would have actually made things a lot better for this guy. But he's actually really good. And the fact that his backpack, they actually tried to like doing the spine sculpting that they actually had in the movie and everything like that, which is actually really nice. But at the same time, it doesn't really fuse to the whole entire back and everything like that, which I actually liked on, say, this version of Optimus. Well, let's just make the pan up a little bit. There we go. And so with this version of Optimus, I love that head sculpt and everything, even though I could have actually used a little bit more of this, because I love all the sculpting that actually goes onto his faceplate over here. This one over here is actually really great for the sizing itself and everything. And he just really looks like Optimus to me and everything, you know? We actually have the smaller smokestacks and everything like that, which is either a hit or a miss for certain people. I really wish that they were actually like a little bit bigger myself and everything. We actually have his iconic chest and everything like that. That's actually great. Again, I love that these were actually sculpted a little bit more inset into his abdomen area and everything. So I think that's great. I love everything that's actually going on into his trousers over here and everything, and the fact that they actually followed that color into his legs. Really, really nice. The one elephant in the room is that his entire leg section does not combine the way it actually should, and that's where this one actually kind of like outshines him. But also, this one's a whole lot more complicated than this one is. So I can actually give it a pass just for that reason and everything, because like what they actually do with this, with his whole entire leg section, is pure magic. And excuse me, I just found something over here that I actually totally missed while transforming him. So I'm just going to leave these up right over here, and there we go. And on this, the styling is a little bit different. It actually goes way up into his legs and everything like that, which is actually also a nice deal, which is also a nice styling also. They actually kind of like try copying each other's styling there and everything in his boots. So really nice. I love like the bulkier arms on this one and everything like that, the bulkier hands. That actually really makes up a lot for me and everything. And when you actually go right into the back, they actually do the whole entire back section and everything, but it's actually more, I kind of feel like with this piece, kind of like over here, it kind of like it sets a little bit better and everything, so I really love that. They are also both completely different animals when it comes down to articulation over here and everything. We can actually go all the way out like this, but it actually goes right into his head. So that's actually kind of like a miss for me and everything like that. But he actually does have like a really good wide range of movement and everything. And if you actually use his transformation joint right over here, and just let me do that without detaching it, you can actually pretty much have like a good butterfly. Just let me bring this down. There we go. And just fix this a little bit over here. There we go. And now you kind of like have a semi-backwards butterfly that you can actually use for him too and everything, which is actually kind of nice. So there we go. And just let me fix this back over here again. There we are. And he actually does go all the way out like this and back. He's like, his whole entire range is uninhibited and everything. The one thing that's actually going on with mine is that you see this right over here. A lot of people actually talked about like how nice and tight this guy actually was and everything. Not so much on mine, so I'm actually going to have to joint stiffen like quite a few things. And I know that my opinion about this figure will probably drastically change after I actually after I tighten all his joints and everything. But that's actually to be said. He actually does come with like an opening chest right over here as per transformation. And if you actually wanted added storage for one of his weapons, you can actually put this on the inside, kind of like play around with it like it is his matrix of leadership, or you can actually attach it to the back right over here like so. So that's actually kind of nice. you know, so we can actually go on with articulation. He actually has a rotatable waist right over here. He actually has a nice ab crunch right over here, but that's actually due to transformation. It gets kind of messy when you actually do the ab crunch and everything, because it totally divides itself away from the lower part of the body and everything, but it is still really nice. You actually get a double jointed elbow right over here, so that's actually really nice also. Again, mine is super loose and everything like that on this, and I am actually going to tighten the joints. He actually also gets a bicep turn right over here. He actually has wrist articulation right here and everything. I also wish that they kind of like included like an opening and closing hand and everything, so that would have actually been great. His legs are kind of peculiar and everything, and I kind of feel like this might be a point of breakage and everything like that eventually. He actually has a desegmented hip right over here where he can actually kick all the way out without losing anything in his belt or anything like that. But it disjoints him away from his, where his legs are actually supposed to be articulated. And I don't know, like I just don't like that connection whatsoever. I think that we may see like a couple of times later on breaking and everything like that just for that reason. We actually have thigh articulation right over here. We actually have a knee bend a little bit over 90 degrees, so that's actually really nice. He actually has dorsiflexion. He actually has a little bit of a of ankle tilt right over here, and he actually turns his head and he can actually look straight up and straight down also and everything like that. So that's actually really nice also. So altogether, this guy is actually really nice. He actually also has like hip skirts right over here and everything like that can actually move out of the way. So altogether, he's actually really nice. And now let's take a look at the big guy right over here. This version of Optimus actually has he can actually move all the way up a little bit like this and everything. He can look down just a tad. He can actually twist his head back and forth and everything like that. And his head is actually on a ball joint, so that's actually really nice. But because of the sizing of the head and everything like that, you don't really get that dynamic move, that dynamic motion and everything that say 102 actually gets. He can actually move his arms up and down, but it actually kind of like gets a little inhibited right over here because of his shoulder pad. So you can actually do that, but you can actually get a great motion going straight out and everything, as opposed to 102. And I really like the way those joints actually work. They're really nice. We actually have a single joint right over here and everything like that, a little bit over 90 degrees, but not double jointed. So that's actually kind of a shame. He actually has bicep rotation right over here, so that's actually really nice. He also has a little bit of a wrist motion right over here, or like upper arm motion due to transformation. He also comes with wrist articulation, so that's actually really nice as well. He has a hip joint right over here and everything like that you can actually move 360, so that's actually really nice. No ab bend or anything like that, and that's actually kind of like a newer thing that a lot of people are actually loving about this one and everything, so that's actually really nice. But I do like the fact that his whole entire hip is connected right over here and connected right into his trousers right here too, so you can actually kind of like go all the way out like this, and it breaks up everything, yes, but it looks great there, and I really like the way that actually looks. He doesn't really go all the way back or anything like that because of like all the kibble on him and everything like that, so that's actually kind of a shame there and everything. But he actually has thigh rotation right over here, and I love how solid everything looks over here. He actually has a lot over 90 degrees right over on his leg here and everything, so that's actually really great. He comes with dorsiflexion, and he also has ankle tilt right here. So altogether, this guy is actually really great also. It really does depend on what your particular styling actually is for this guy and what you actually want in your prime and everything like that, but both are actually really good. I just kind of prefer this one a little bit more and everything like that. It's to me right now, this is actually kind of like more of an apples to apples kind of comparison and everything like that. But if you want my hot take and everything like that, I really, really love this guy. This guy is actually still good. I'm actually still having a lot of fun with him and everything. When I actually tighten his joints, he's probably going to be a lot better in my mind's eye and everything. But if you're looking for an all-around Optimus and everything like that, I'd say hunt for this one or get the third party and everything like that, because this guy is really great. He actually has like a lot of complexity and everything, a lot of complexity when it comes down to his transformation and everything like that, which I love. And even though this is actually more of a simplified transformation, this is good. This guy is actually still really good, but I love this guy altogether and everything, and I think he would actually be my choice. But let's get into weaponry. And also, as far as both of them are actually concerned, this Optimus is a little bit taller than this one by at least half a head, so that might make a difference to you guys and everything, but I really still say I actually prefer this one. But I just love the way the smokestacks are actually done. I love the heroic proportions of both of them and everything. And as far as weaponry is actually concerned, this blade right over here actually has a port right over here, so you can actually include that into a small port that's actually right on his arm here, so you can actually use it like that and have that jutting right out from his arm. Or you can actually kind of like have it as though he's actually using it like a cutlass, like right in his hands over here and everything. And as far as his ulterior blaster, he can just put his fist right on the inside, and you actually have a peg that'll actually go right in here. Once you actually install that peg, you actually have a blaster that's his blaster that's actually being used in the movies, which is really nice. But at the same time, it's not like, say, the blaster that we actually had in the movie itself and everything. And I kind of wish that this actually translated a lot better in real life and everything, or that Hasbro actually included a couple of like upgraded pieces to actually go into his arm to make it look as though this were actually completely coming out of his hand. Or if they actually gave us like a way to like actually there are like a couple of transformers that can actually be used where you actually kind of like rotate the wrist around onto the inside, and then there's like a piece that's actually on the inside, like a fuselage or something, that can actually be used as a blaster as well and everything, like on some of the jet formers. And I think that that would have actually been great right over here. And in this corner, our ulterior version of Optimus Prime actually comes with his iconic ion cannon, which can actually just be held in either hand. He can actually wield it like a badass and everything, and prove that justice never fails and everything when he's actually blasting Decepticons all the way out to Primus. So there we go, and he looks amazing with it as always and everything. I just wish that we could actually have well-rounded weapons for both sides and everything like that. Like this guy could actually come with the ion cannon. It would have actually been nice if they reprinted this and everything again, well, maybe with like a little bit of like maybe with a little bit of weathering or something like that to go with this guy. And it'd be nice if this guy actually came with a sword. I can't wait to see what we actually get with Optimus Primal, because I know that the leader class is actually going to come with the axe that he actually holds in the movie. I kind of wish that the axe actually came along with him altogether, because that would have actually been pretty cool. But I love both of them to death. And the only other thing that I'm actually going to like name as differences is you can always get Toy Hacks labels for this guy altogether. I love the fact that we actually get the outlined Autobot symbols and everything right over here on Optimus Prime here. But on this version, we never get anything like that. I kind of wish that that was actually like a standard with all Optimus Primes and everything like that, because Optimus Prime actually needs to like actually make sure that you all know that he is the leader of the Autobots and he will never ever quit on you whatsoever or anything. So that would have actually been great. But again, whichever version of Optimi you actually get, you win. You win. So these guys are actually great. And now let's give you a couple of other size comparisons. And in a tale of two Optimi, we actually have size comparisons with Movie Megatron, Movie 1 Megatron actually, and I really love the way they actually size up together. And Transformers Rise of the Beast Studio Series Bumblebee here, and I think he looks amazing with both of them. again, they both actually have something to add to the table and everything like that. If you actually want to get either or, these guys actually match up so well with Bumblebee. This is probably my favorite version of a base style Bumblebee and everything, and I will probably be going through a review about this guy soon enough and everything, because I really love the way this guy actually came out. But neither here nor there. This isn't about Bumblebee. This is about your primes and everything, and I really think that they actually look great. One way or the other, whichever one you actually decide to get, of course you win. But they both actually have something that lacks to be desired from the other and everything, you know? Like, I love like some of the paint apps that we actually get over here. I love the painting that actually goes into the legs on this one and everything. I think the detailing is actually really nice around the codpiece right over here and everything. I think the abdomen could actually like use a little bit more cohesion as it actually did over here. The Autobot symbols, of course, you actually need Autobot symbols on your Prime and everything. That would actually be great. I think that he actually lacks a better weapon than this guy, and this guy actually kind of like far out wins with this, that, and everything altogether, even though he actually needs like another sword or an axe or like some kind of like other melee weapon and everything to go along with him. Like both, you actually have something on both sides. Also, I think the way they actually angled everything in here just kind of worries me a little bit and everything. But aside from that, they both actually kind of like just really are amazing figures and everything like that. I love them both for different reasons, and they're both just as fun and everything, you know? So like the way I look at it, you actually really can't make a bad choice in either one. I am going to give you final thoughts in just a moment. In your quest for finding a perfect Optimus Prime, whether it be this version or this version, one way or the other, you're actually making just the right choice. I think that they're actually both great for different reasons and will make a pretty great addition to anyone's collection. Everybody always wonders why, like who my favorite superhero is. It's always going to be Optimus Prime. He actually carries the stuff of goodness. He carries the Matrix. He is a born leader, and he is actually here for us all to grab a copy of and everything. I really love them to death and everything. So if you actually get a chance, get one or both, or just pick whichever one is actually your favorite. You win either way. And really, that's it for me. I'm really glad that you actually got a chance to come in and join me for my trip through nerddom. I am enjoying the fact that you actually came here today. I really hope to see you all again. And as always, the mental health check. Make sure that you're treating yourselves well and treat others just as well as you're treating yourself. I hope you actually take that love and adoration all over the world and back over through the universe and back over here, over to HQ, where I could actually use some too. As always, I really appreciate you all for joining me once again. And as always, when these stop being magical, that's when I'll stop collecting. I look forward to talking to each and every one of you soon.